I call this the tearing it all apart process, because what we're doing is we're adding new wiring, new plumbing, new electrical, a sprinkler system, security system, data communication system. So that requires us to crack open a lot of walls in this building and do a lot of work in the basement and the attic to run the ductwork and everything we need to make this a really comfortable and efficient and modern space so that we can work in this space and have people in for workshops and events. On the inside, we have found all sorts of decorative painting. It's as if Adelia is revealing the house to us as we go through. The house is filled with hand-painted work that was done as a collaboration between Adelia Armstrong Lutz and Mortimer Thompson, who was the father of Jim Thompson, and everyone knows Thompson Photography. And they were dear friends and worked together on this, and it is, we're thinking, in every single room somewhere. Some of it we'll be able to reveal, some of it is just lost forever. We've had a couple of big surprises. One is that the house was not connected to the city sewer system, which was a surprise to us and KUB and our contractors and our architects. But with the help of KUB, they have just been wonderful. We've figured out where we're going to attach, and so we'll be hooked into the sewer system for the first time since 1890. And then the other thing that was interesting is we needed to get a fire sprinkler system into the building because of the use that we're going to be having, and we want to protect the house in case of fire. And even though we have a photograph of a fire hydrant right outside the main gate there from about the 1920s, it turns out when Kingston Pike was widened, they took the water main to the other side. So we were going to have to dig a Volkswagen-sized hole underneath Kingston Pike to run our pipe, and thank goodness Laurel Church of Christ stepped in, again, incredibly generous, and we've worked out a way for us to share the water line required for both entities to have their fire protection systems. One of the big components of this restoration is obviously dealing with the masonry, since the whole exterior is almost all brick or stone. And so we've been working with Wasco and our contractor Johnson & Gallion to repair and get this back in good shape. So part of the process they have done is taken out the mortar joints in between the original brick, and we had to go through a process of matching the new mortar to the historic mortar, because at that time they used less Portland cement in mortar mixes and more river sand, and so the river sand kind of determined the color of your mortar. And now they'll be going around repairing all the mortar joints and any masonry troubles around the house, and reconstructing one of the chimneys that had to be taken down because it was structurally unsound, and then shoring up the ones that are still up there. After this week, we'll start the part where you start putting it back together. When you bring people on the job site now who aren't used to this type of construction, their jaws drop open because they really can't believe how terrible it looks. But we know all the important architectural elements are protected. They're all going to be restored. So we'll soon start putting it all back together, patching the holes in the walls, doing the painting, cleaning and repairing woodwork. And so after this, the pace will quicken dramatically.